Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Smart Money Sundays. Hopefully, I think I sound much better after that fun time with COVID. I'm excited to give you guys some value today, kind of my views, my expectations, the coming week ahead in the market from kind of a top down perspective. All right, so as usual, we're going to start off here on Euro USD. And this one, I still believe we can see some significant upside on Euro USD. As you can see, we kind of stopped here and more or less stalled out with these wicks. But in my opinion, we really didn't come into anything here, right? And so the real kind of area of price that I want to dig up into is that old significant level of price on the monthly time frame, even going back to 2017. All right, so I still think we have the potential to drive higher back into these moving averages, daily 50 EMA here on Euro USD. All right, and so at the moment, we do have a bit of a kind of ugly looking channel, if you will. Right, this doesn't look great to me. Obviously, we've had a lot of choppy price action over the last kind of week and a half. As you can see here with this price action here, more or less a bull flag in my opinion. Now, the question is whether or not we're going to maintain lower time frame structure here and get our run higher into 103.60, or if we're going to have one final kind of manipulative push lower, okay, and then the move higher. Right? I think both are possibilities. I would prefer the former than the latter. All right, but nevertheless, we're always prepared for multiple different scenarios to take place. All right, and before I get further, just want to get the disclaimer out of the way. We aren't financial advisors. Everything we talk about here is our opinion. It's educational material only. This video is for educational purposes only. If you'd like a financial advisor, please seek a licensed advisor in your local area. Okay, but let's hop on down here to the lower time frame. And obviously last week we did trade into a POI of mine that I had here. And actually on our daily market breakdown video, we were trading, we had bounced away from the POI, and I told our VIP members, look for a run on the low and then the break of structure. And sure enough, we got that with FOMC on Wednesday of last week. Then we created a lower time frame sponsor candle here that we also played off of and caught a nice move higher. All right, but for the here and now, right, you can see this lower time frame price action, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, potential higher low right here. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing kind of open up this week and just kind of take off to the upside. All right, it's kind of do or die here, right? We're either going to kind of open up and just moon up into our higher time frame level, or we're going to open up, potentially gap lower and trade lower first to start the week, right? And so if that is the case, then I believe that we could potentially be looking to play off of kind of this daily time frame down close candle here, as I have denoted, in and around 100.50, right? This daily down close where we could see that manipulation to start the week. We run lower, trade into that, and then we get our significant run up into our objective. Okay? So that's what I'm looking at. One of two scenarios, right? We open up, maybe we get a little run lower, and then we just pretty much take off for the week, or at least to start the week up into our objective, or we open up and we kind of just die into our daily time frame down close candle. All right. But this is kind of a choppy range. There have been buying opportunities here, so if you've gotten in them, congratulations. You should more or less be break even on those, and we have our objectives to the upside. All right, so the same goes for a lot of these dollar pairs. GBP USD, another level that we gave out to VIP this week. Beautiful reaction on Friday, right, to the upside. So I still think in terms of objectives here on GU, this is going to be my preferred area of price as an objective. We have traded into kind of this inefficiency here, okay, with this wick, but there's nothing indicative of a break of structure or momentum telling us we're going to be trading lower, right? So until then, we'll continue to trade with this momentum, this lower time frame structure to the upside, targeting, right, this old low in the market at 12430, 12430. Okay, and as you can see, had the nice selling volume, kind of block of candlesticks here, right, running out liquidity, trading into that 7-minute candlestick denoted last week with our VIP clients, right? This down close volume traded beautifully into that on Friday, had that nice reaction. Okay, so maybe we can get a little run lower here, right, into something like this. Okay, 2120, maybe we can get that. But otherwise, we're expecting kind of an immediate push to the upside this week on GU as we are on EU as well. Right, so I think getting below the weekly open is a nice discount for a push higher. All right, so that is GBP USD. Obviously, we have our higher time frame objectives, but can also look to kind of target this lower time frame, 78.6, into that negative 27 up here is kind of short-term intermediate targets, 123.068. Okay, that's GU. Again, same deal here on the Aussie dollar. Now, pretty significant sell-off here on Friday, actually running out this old low here just by a little bit, as you can see, with a railroad to the upside. All right, so looking for something similar here on AU this week as we are on GU. All right, let's see if we can get maybe a little bit of retracement into discount, right, possibly into something like this little candlestick here. All right, see if we can potentially get that and a run higher. And the objective is still the same, right? The objective is still the same, running out this short-term high here, trading into this up-close candlestick here, right? Really around 7,100, 711, right? Really want to see 7,100 met on AU. Right now, if we do get, like we talked about on EU, kind of that manipulative push lower, right? Alternative scenario for you guys. Okay, if we get that manipulative push lower, we could see a run on this liquidity, trade into this 6-hour down close here that traded into supply, had the reaction, supply failed, that should flip to demand, right? But we never did trade back into it, retest it. Right, so if we do get a push lower immediately, don't be alarmed. That should actually be welcomed, right? Nice discount, and then potentially push higher up into our objective here at 7,100. Right? So same deal with all these dollar pairs, right? Potentially continuing to play with this lower time frame structure to the upside, and then reacting, waiting, reacting, and adapting if we do push significantly lower first to start the week, still maintaining that understanding of where it is we are likely heading in these markets. Okay, so that's AU, USD Cad. Okay, again, looking at this higher time frame structure, high, low, high. We have some room to trade further lower, right? Still maintaining the higher time frame structure. I'm really liking this area of price here at 2,700, so I think that can be a nice objective. And for this one, I really would like to see kind of a run on these highs here. I just think that that will be necessary in order to propel price lower. All right, so I'm liking this 2-hour inefficiency here, the supply that ran out this high, right, traded nicely into kind of this supply here, right? A nice up close into up close, right? Engineering, inducing liquidity here. I would prefer to see maybe a push through the lows first, then through the highs, and then continue. That would make natural sense to me. All right, simple enough. That's UCAD. NZD USD is another one we gave out to VIP this week. All right, this down close cluster of candlesticks, creating a new high, simple retracement into discount, continue. Right, so we should be break even on the positions in here. Same deal. A potential just quick push lower and then continuation. All right, we didn't quite get this lower area of price kind of that we were wanting. It's still on the cards, right? So if we get that push lower on AU, naturally we would expect that same kind of push lower on NU, running out these lows here and then potentially pushing higher. All right, but it just doesn't look like that's going to be the case, right? We see the reaction off this down close, right? Nice closure higher to end the week, right? So I would put more weight potentially on just opening up and kind of pushing higher. All right. USD Swissy. Hey, nothing much on this one. Potential higher time frame fib play in action. Okay, you can see trading into the 61.8, engineering liquidity, running it one more time, and we're just kind of dying, right? We're just falling over, spilling over here on this pair. So I think the objective can easily be this negative 27. See this inefficiency here to the left, fill that up in and around 9.350, 9.35 as the objective. So then hopping down to the lower time frame. Now this is what slightly concerns me. There's beautiful entry here on the 7-minute time frame given out to VIP this week. Beautiful trade. But just this kind of wave play, it almost kind of scares me to continue, trading things like this, because ultimately, you do want to see a run on liquidity. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did something like this, ran lower, just spiked through this high, traded into something higher in here, right, and then spilled over, right? So be on the lookout for a potential manipulative push, run on short-term buy-side liquidity before another spill over, just because this price action here is just really clean, right? So a lot of retail traders, I'm sure, have been selling off these 61 fibs, right? So be on the lookout for this. Look for runs on buy side and continuation down to our higher time frame objective. USD Jpy, another beautiful trade handed out to VIP this week, guys. If you're not in VIP, highly recommend it. We offer one package now, and highly recommend you head over to our website, www.aerialfxtrading.com, and just book a free consultation with one of us. And we'd be happy to kind of learn more about your journey and what solutions that we can provide for you to help you reach your goals. So if you haven't done that, head over to our website, free of charge to you, see if we can help you achieve your goals. All right, but USD Jpy, another one that I gave out right off this 12-hour candlestick this week. 480 pips at the bottom. I do think this one can continue through this old low, trading back down into this market structure, potentially lower into this little doji here. All right, this didn't really trade into anything. You can see we're having a reaction, but with dollar weakness continuing in the market, wouldn't be surprised this thing spills on over, right? So in terms of the here and now, I don't think that there's, a solid selling opportunity unless we get back up into something like this. Right, so I'd really like to see if we can get kind of through these highs and up into this supply here, right? Then I would be more so inclined for a continuation trade back onto the downside. All right. But until then, there's really nothing because, we wouldn't want to be looking to play off of anything in here at the moment because we haven't created a new low, right? So if we stop here, then we could be potentially running higher into this area of price and then spill over, right? But the objective is still, in my opinion, to the downside. Let's see if we can get up into this supply here, 1355. Right? But you should be break even. Have taken significant partials if you're in VIP and took this trade that I gave out this week. All right. Multiple opportunities given on Euro JPY this week as well. Congratulations. I think this one can spill over, continue to spill over, to potentially be targeting this old low here. All right, so for the here and now, I think we can get up, back up into here, 138 kind of 15 area for another continuation to the downside. All right, that would be my POI. Those of you who are in the Aerial Effects community and have taken our courses, obviously you know what to do in terms of trading the lower time frame as price comes into our POIs, right? But quite simply, we are looking for a slowdown in momentum as price approaches our POI, and we're looking for the lower time frame buy to sell. That's very specific times of day, right? And then we catch the pullback on the lower time frame, the continuation, right? So there's the POI. Mark it off, and make sure we see the reaction at the right time of day, right session. Okay, that's what I'd like to see on Euro JPY. Looking for further downside on this pair. We have now created another new low, right? So structure has shifted bearish on this cross, right? Same deal on CHF JPY. Another beautiful trade given out. Guys, this week in, week out, just handing out beautiful, beautiful trades. Another one that was given out to VIP this week, off this 2-hour up close candle. Beautiful trade. 300 plus pips, guys. So this one, I think these lows can be very easily taken out as an objective. Price trading back down into old market structure, down into these areas of price, right? So 137.8 into 137.2, that's where I'll be looking to target. All right, so I'm looking to treat pullbacks as excuses to sell, right? There's the bias. There's the bias, right? And so I think if we can potentially get up higher than in this kind of inefficiency here, or in and around 140.675, I think that more than likely will suffice for another move lower on CHF JPY. Now we could trade higher. This would be the kind of secondary area, because that's where our inefficiency is, following our mitigation of our up close here. Right, so we could potentially trade higher and then lower. That's just the kind of secondary point of interest for me. I don't necessarily think we'll get above, okay, these candlesticks in here. All right, we're looking for more downside on this one. Cad JPY, same deal, really same deal. Right, you can see we've traded into this inefficiency here. I would like to see if we can, okay, run out this short-term high that really didn't trade into anything, run out potentially this high. If we can get up into here, kind of like, UJ, then I'd be looking for continuations lower down into our higher time frame POI at 102.50. Right, 102.50 is the objective on Cad Chf. Right into this inefficiency here, 102.50. Right, so let's see if we can't get a little push higher, start the week, right, and then run lower. Right, but again, the bias is down. Right, that's Cad Chf. Euro GBP. Okay, multiple opportunities given out on this one as well. Each selling opportunity, each wick was given out on this series, guys, for free. Structure is quite clearly to the downside. Okay, lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. So simply would be looking for continuations, right? There's nothing else to it, right? We should simply be looking for continuations, right? So I think if we can get up into this supply here, inefficiency, fill up that imbalance. If we can get up into here, I would like to see it spill over. Right, simple as that. Obviously, if there's buying opportunities that present themselves, you can certainly look to buy up into this area of price, buy up into our bearish POI, right? But obviously that's taking on a little more inherent risk. Okay, so potentially look to buy it. Obviously the bias is down, so we're more so interested, should be, in selling opportunities, continuation trades. In terms of an objective on this one, I still think that we can dig lower into 8100, filling up this old gap in price, weekly time frame. All right, just viewing this move higher as just a liquidity run, running out all these highs for another spill on over. All right, so 8100 is the ultimate objective on Euro GBP. Got that daily 50 EMA right here as well, right at our POI. All right, Euro NZD, another one that's just been trickling lower, so we should be looking for continuation trades until we see some true momentum shift to the upside. All right, but for this one, I really do like this 2-hour up close candle. Ran out all of this liquidity, buy to sell. All right, we never did retest and mitigate this up close. All right, we've just since engineered liquidity. All right, so if we can get a run higher through this liquidity, I really like selling opportunities. This is a nice premium, right, to get short for another leg to the downside. The objective for me is going to be 5.850, 5.850, really this old low here. Right? Very simple. Run the buy side, premium, continuation. Right? Keep it simple. But I really do like that potential opportunity there on Euro NZD. GBP CAD. This one's interesting. Be looking at this as structure, relative equal lows here, run out, and then the break of structure here relative to this high. Right, so I really have kind of two potential POIs here for an aggressive long opportunity. This is going to be my first one. Trading down into here, continue. But there is a possibility, since this volume of candlesticks, these candlesticks did not trade into completely fill up this inefficiency here. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if we ran it and then went higher. All right, so I have POI 1, POI 2. All right, but looking for some upside actually on GBP CAD with pound strength potentially coming into the market on that one. Right? Gold, don't cover this one often, right? But we have beautiful equal lows here that have not been taken out. We're engineering liquidity. Surprising push higher, but that's okay, right? That means we can catch more pips, higher risk to reward potentially, as we trade lower and into these equal lows here. Okay, so for me, really would like to see price respect this POI here, potentially this little 4-hour doji in here, right? But we want to see the distribution, the buy to sell, break a structure, continuation lower into equal lows, right? But this is going to be my POI here on gold. All right, Cad Chf. This one pretty self-explanatory, looking at targeting this trendline liquidity here, and to simply follow our mitigation train to the downside. Right, you can see up close, run lower, up close, run lower, new low. Let's see if we can't trade up into simply this up close here, essentially run lower, then run higher, continuation. 7,480, okay, into 7,350. 7,480 into 7,350. Right through this low would be my ultimate target here on Cad Chf. Right? Very simple. Just following the mitigation train. And we talk about that quite a bit in our Smart Money course. All right, GBP CHF. This one is similar to Cad CHF. Strength, seeing that strength in the CHF and the JPY. So this one, we're going to follow mitigation train here. Up close, run liquidity. Okay, trade into it here. Up close, run liquidity. So if we can get a slight push higher, I'm liking this kind of 1-hour candlestick in here. Okay, so if we can get that push higher, maybe London session tomorrow, I'd like to trade through this liquidity here. All right. That would be the preference on G-Chef. All right, just a few more. Euro AUD. This one also very similar to Euro NZD. Okay, let's see if we can get up through liquidity up into that up close candle that ran liquidity for a continuation. Pretty self-explanatory. All right. AUD JPY. Now the reason I like downside on this is because I really like downside on NZD JPY. We'll go over that one first. This one, momentum shift back to the downside. I really think these relative equal lows are going to be the draw on liquidity. Right, so we should be looking for excuses to sell into these equal lows. And really for this one, there's a couple levels here actually. This will be the first one, this inefficiency here. Right, but I'd really prefer to see us run buy side before we run sell side. So if we can get up into here, I would much prefer this area, 84.9, and then spill over, right into this up close inefficiency. All right. But again, this is going to be the first POI here at 84.50 area, this inefficiency here. All right, so you have your levels here and you have your objective. All right, and so that's why I also like AUD JPY for continuations. You have your level here, okay, and you have the secondary level here, and really we have an extreme level. All right, this kind of up close that ran trend line liquidity to the upside. All right, so we really do have kind of three levels, right? The middle level for me is going to be the preferred level. Obviously, actually, I mean, the most preferential level we can get on a setup is the extreme, right? But I highly doubt we'll actually make it up into here, right? So we really want to see a run on buy side. This didn't really come into anything. So if we can run that high, come into 94.50 area, this inefficiency, I like to see it spill over, and we have all these lows to target here. That's really just not a bottom in the market. All right. So look for retracements, excuses to sell into higher time frame objectives here on these yen pairs. All right. So that will wrap it up today, guys. Really appreciate your time. Hope you took some value from this call. We do it every week for free and call out a lot of beautiful trades on here. So make sure you take good notes and trade safe throughout the week this week. Again, if you're interested in joining our community, feel free to head over to our website, www.aerialfxtrading.com, and simply book a free consultation with either Nate or me, and we'll be happy to come up with a plan to help you meet your goals. All right, have a great week, everyone, and we'll be in touch.